Welcome to Connect to Joy. Your host, Carol DeChaine, is an intuitive spiritual guide for practical matters and Marconic multidimensional energy practitioner. Her quest is to help you realize new possibilities, discover and release what holds you back, and enable you to manifest an inspired life filled with joy. Join us on this journey of transformation. Now, here's your host, Carol DeChaine.
Welcome, beautiful spirits. Today is my 65th birthday. Are you facing or have you recently faced a birthday that seems difficult? Every birthday means something different to each person. Normally, they just mean, I'm happy to be alive, or I'm happy I was born. But sometimes one comes up that I want to celebrate a little more, or to worry about a little more. Usually other people impact that feeling. What do others think about turning a certain age? And why do we feel the way that we do? Have you noticed how some older people seem really hard to be around, and others are fun, easygoing, and you look forward to seeing them? Why is that? And more importantly, how can we age gracefully? In a way we can enjoy our lives, and other people around us can enjoy us as well. Before you think the show is just for senior citizens, whether you're turning 16, 18, 21, 30, or 65, if your birthday impacts you in some way, the show will be right up your alley. I always like to give you an idea of the agenda for the show, and today's include the definition of aging, why different ages may make us feel differently, including other people's judgment about aging and how that impacts us. Why are we so worried about aging? What's in our past that maybe impacts that? Fear of death as related to aging. Guided meditation to release any fears you may have about aging. 10 mindset hacks that can shift your negative aging mindset. And even more, 15 ways to embrace whatever age you are right now. So let's start with a definition of aging. According to Google, aging is the process of growing old. Okay. It doesn't tell us a whole lot, does it? Now, Britannica.com, now this was the old Encyclopedia Britannica, says that aging is a sequential or progressive change in an organism that leads to an increased risk of debility, disease, and death. Oh, joy! Love that one, don't you? So, is there anything positive about aging? Well, you bet. We're going to talk about some of those today, as well as why different ages bother us more than others and what to do about that. And the next question I posed was, why do different ages impact us differently? And as we approach different ages, we may feel different about each one. First, we may not feel anything in particular about the age. We may just be happy to celebrate our birthday. Or second, we may feel that we're really looking forward to a certain age. Or of course, we may dread a specific birthday. Let's look specifically about those last two. Why might you be looking forward to a birthday? Well, sweet 16, turning 18 and 21 are all exciting for most people. If you feel like you'll be treated differently or get some perk, like being able to drive or vote, drink legally, or just be treated more like an adult, you'll probably look forward to turning a specific age. Even turning 65 can be good if you need Medicare, and whatever age you'll get Social Security is one you may look forward to. But turning a birthday with a 0, for some reason, starting with 30, tends to make some people worry about getting older, and can even depress some people. 30 or 40 might feel like you're leaving your childhood behind, something you might have been even looking forward to when you turned 18 or 21. But you might start feeling like you're, old. Now, 50 might feel like half your life is over. Although most people don't really live to be over 100, so that might not be an actual something that makes you feel good if I say that. But as we turn 60, 70, or older, if we fear death, that is going to be a big reason to react to having one of those birthdays. But people are also afraid of the type of disabilities that can come with age, both physical and mental. And that could be another reason, psychologically, that an age may bother us. Let's look at other people's judgments and words and how that impacts us as we age. Now, I still remember my first birthday I had an issue was 25 years old, believe it or not. I had no problems at all as I approached it, but someone had the gall to say to me on my birthday, "Oh, you're now a quarter of a century." And for some reason, that really threw me for a loop. And it actually took me a couple of minutes or maybe a couple of hours to let go of that. And I still remember it, even though it doesn't have the impact anymore. But it was like, man, that actually sounds old. How can you say that to me? So if someone makes fun of an age or razzes you about it, like when they give you an over-the-hill party and they put it on your cake and on all the black balloons and all that sort of stuff, you could get depressed, worried, or just focus on the age you're turning a little more. And maybe it just bothers you more because everybody's making fun of it. It might take you a little while to let it go, or you might get stuck in depression for a bit. My sister, I remember, was so worried about turning, I think it was 40, that I and some of her friends threw her a Sweet 16 party instead of an over-the-hill party. And she was thrilled because she expected an over-the-hill party and was so happy that she didn't get one. And it just helped her get over that worry and concern of getting older because at 16, she just wanted to have fun again. So that's what we did. We played silly party games and things that you would do at a Sweet 16 party. And it was really fun. Now, you may hate going to family reunions, holiday gatherings, or even Sunday family dinners if helpful relatives or friends are always saying certain things. Certain things like, "Gee, why aren't you married yet?" Or, "Oh, I have that perfect person for you," and then they try and set you up. Or maybe they never do try and set you up and you wish they would. Or maybe they say, "Oh, I bet your biological clock is really ticking. It must be getting loud because you're getting so old since you don't have kids yet." Or any other number of things. So I have to say that other people's judgments can really impact us in many ways. Even if you just hear them saying, "Oh, I'm going to be 50 this year," and you're going to be 50 the following year, you might go, "Oh, maybe I should be worried about this." Because it really does make you look back on what you've accomplished and what you haven't, no matter what age you are. And that's one of the reasons why we're so worried about aging. We think that we've already accomplished everything we're going to accomplish if we get to a certain age, and it could be depressing because maybe our dreams and goals have not been achieved yet. Or maybe we don't have any and we're 40 sitting watching TV with being single and no kids, and we're going, "Oh, I should rethink this. Maybe I need to get out of my house and do something that's more than what I was doing, or maybe less than what I was doing if I was partying all the time. What do I want to do?" It makes you reevaluate. And ageism, too, is a thing. You may think people will treat you differently, and you'd be right. I still remember going with my mom to her doctor's appointment, and they totally weren't listening to her until I spoke up, because I was younger. I was her daughter. And then all of a sudden, everyone paid attention. And it was only because I think that I was younger and maybe a little more forceful because I was worried about what was happening. And it shocked me, and it kind of pissed me off that that would even happen for people. So be aware that ageism is real, but not everyone will treat you poorly or badly. So don't worry about it, but when it does happen to you, find someone else. Get a different doctor. Go to a different customer service rep if that person won't help you and they act like you're not important enough to talk to. Or whoever you need to talk to someone differently, don't be afraid to do that. Another reason that you might be worried about aging is that your past history or your family history shows you that maybe somebody's going to die young, and that bothers you. I know I had a boss whose father died, I can't remember what age, but it was somewhere around 50. So we'll say it was 50 now. But as he approached that age, he got more and more difficult to be around. He was cranky, and what's happening was that he was worried, and he had that thing going around and around in his head that, "Oh my God, I'm going to die when I get 50. And he had no idea what to do, and I had no idea what was happening because he didn't talk about that sort of thing. But it turns out he was afraid that he wouldn't live beyond the age of his father due to that family history. And after he had the birthday, after his father died, let's say he turned 51, he started relaxing and letting go of the fear because all of a sudden, it wasn't real anymore. And at last I heard, he's in his 70s and he's still okay. Maybe he's even 80 by now. But that kind of fear can become a self-fulfilling prophecy if we get ourselves so wound up about it. We could get high blood pressure, carry more stress and anxiety, and feed into that early death possibility. Now, my father had Alzheimer's, and he died from complications of that. And I always thought it was environmental related due to the type of work he did. Plus, he had sisters and a brother who lived really old and didn't have that problem. I still have 2 aunts that are living, and they're both over 100 years old. Neither one have any kind of mental problems, except maybe slightly forgetful because they're over 100. But it turns out my older sister harbored the fear that I didn't. She started going downhill and forgetting things about the same time my dad did. She stopped doing things that would work her brain to keep her active. And sometimes people just give up and give in to the fears that they have. Our mind and our mindset are huge on how we age and how we approach each birthday. So what's in your past or your family history that might make you afraid of aging or approaching a certain age with worry or anxiety? Look at it and see how realistic your fears really are. Do some research if you have to on heredity, and then realize no matter what your fears are, they don't have to be real for you specifically. If you can change your mindset and release that worry, a lot of your stress and anxiety, it'll simply lessen or vanish altogether. There's also fear of death in relation to aging. Now, as I said earlier, if you have a fear that you'll die at a certain age because a relative did, it can definitely impact how you feel about aging and about approaching that specific age. But fear of death in particular, it can bother us all our life, and it can debilitate you as you get older. How can it stop you from living the life you want? Well, even if you're younger, you may not try things that you really want. You may not go for that high-stress job that deep down you really want, or bungee jump, or zip line, or any other number of things you really want to try because you're afraid you're going to die if you do it. You might hold yourself back from having children if your mother or aunt died in childbirth. Even if a friend did, that might scare you enough that you don't have children. Even if it's subconscious, you may not be even aware of it. If you saw someone die when you were younger, especially violently, that can scare you and scar you for life. No one really knows what happens after we die. I mean, honestly, nobody knows that's living. So it may be a bit normal and human to have some fears. But if it debilitates you and you're just stuck with that anxiety, you may want to try a life coach or a therapist. While they don't truly know any more than you do what happens after our human body's death, you may be able to quiet some of those fears so you can live your life in a way that you really want to, especially if it's our only life. I don't believe that's the case, but even if it isn't our only life, it's the only one we have at the moment, so we might as well enjoy ourselves. And you may think the price is prohibitive for a life coach or a therapist, but if that work releases your fears so your life is more fun and you have more happiness because of it, it is so worth it. You are so worth it. So let's go ahead now and have that guided meditation. I want to help you release any anxiety and worry about aging, no matter what age you are. You may even need to release worry or concern about a parent's aging, especially if you think you'll have to take care of them and you aren't sure how you can do that. Or maybe a grandparent's aging because you're so close to them and you don't want to lose them. So let's go ahead and get comfortable and let's start on this meditation. So let's breathe deeper than maybe normal. And I want you to breathe in peace with each breath. Breathe in peace and breathe out worry. Let's do that a couple of times. Again, breathe in peace and breathe out worry, but at your own speed. Don't take it at mine. So do that 3 times. And then the next one is to breathe in love and breathe out frustration. So if you feel frustration, release that. Breathe in love and breathe out frustration. And one more time. And then the third one I want you to do is to breathe in joy and breathe out any fear you have. Breathe in joy and breathe out fear. Feeling your body relaxing as you do this, and feeling your mind starting to float higher and higher above your body. and allow your mind to connect to your highest source, whatever that means to you, to your God, to Christ, to Buddha, to your angels, to your highest self, to a universal intelligence. Whatever speaks to you, connect to your highest source and allow light-encoded frequencies of information to sweep through your mind. Whatever color that may be, you may see formulas coming down into your mind, or you may see higher frequencies of light or of sound. Whatever it may be, that information is coming in through your mind. It's sweeping in information on who you are and what you need to do with your life this time around. Kind of like having laughing gas at the dentist. If you've ever had that, gas actually sweeps away fear and anxiety and frustration. You can feel it just melting away and going down through your toes. So allow all of that higher light encoded frequency to sweep away any fear, any anxiety, or any frustration about aging, about turning a certain age, or about what you might face when you get to a certain age. Knowing that aging is a state of mind that you don't have to live with. Your mindset can shift about it. So allow peace to come into your mind, knowing that you can trust this information that you're getting. And you may not be aware exactly of what that light-encoded frequency is telling you right now, that information that's sweeping into your mind. But you will know what this is after you're done here. It may come to you in a few days or in a few weeks, but the information will be clear and it will feel like it comes from a higher source. Next, I want you to look down at your body, and I want you to shine a bright light on your body and see any dark spots or anything negative that might be attached to it. So look down at that body and shining that bright light, see what's there, and allow that light encoded frequency already in your mind to flood down into that body, releasing the pain or the worry, releasing fear or anxiety, and healing those dark spots. Anything negative, see it pulsing with positivity. The higher frequencies of the light will disintegrate anything with a heavier density, and it will heal your body. So take a few moments and breathe in that light-encoded information. Breathe it from your mind down into your body, trusting your higher source and feeling safe and peaceful while you do that. Just take a few moments and breathe it in. See it going down into your body. See it healing those spots, those places that need healing, enlightening. And now I want you to come back into your body, to allow your mind to settle back in, to become more aware again of your breath, and breathing in and out at this point, that peace, that knowingness that you have just received. Any fears that may be remaining are now being swept away so that you don't have to worry about them. So breathe into your body, grounding back into it. And now I want you to come back. 1, 2, 3, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake. How do you feel? Does it feel like you're a little lighter? Like maybe you're a little clearer? Because if it doesn't, don't be surprised if it shows up at a little later time. Some clarity about where you're headed, or about what you want in your life, or about what aging means to you. You may have any number of things that come to you later. And now let's get into that 10 mindset hacks that I talked about earlier that can shift your negative aging mindset. So these are all about mindset. Number 1 is to be mindful and aware. If you notice you're focusing or maybe obsessing on aging or on a specific birthday, first be aware you're doing it. What are you thinking of, and where does that anxiety or worry come from? Is it from your past? Is it from people just saying things about, oh, you're going to be half a century? You're getting old. You're halfway through your life and you're kind of going, I don't know. I don't have relatives like Carol does that live to be 100, so maybe I'm more than halfway through my life. And then you start worrying and obsessing about it. I want you to shift your focus and your mindfulness to a positive, either about that birthday or whatever you may be obsessing about. If you can come up with a number of positives, you may be able to let go, at least at that moment, of the negatives that you're focusing on. So be aware and mindful when you start doing this obsessing about the birthday, what's happening, that you can shift that mindset. The second thing to think about is, who do you want to be as you age? If you're 21 now and you're thinking for some reason of 30, what do you want to do when you're 30? Who do you want to be then? If you're 65 and you have a grandparent who's 85 and they're cranky and horrible to be around, what do you want to be like? Do you want to be a positive and fun person? Maybe you know somebody like my mom who, she just was so sweet and everybody loved her. And I thought, really? It's not that I didn't love my mother, but she never seemed particularly sweet or that kind of nice. She was German. She was very, this is the way it is, strict kind of person. And she was my best friend growing up. But I just never thought of her as sweet. And people did, as they all wanted to take care of her. They thought she was wonderful. She never complained about anything. She might mention something like, oh yeah, no, I'm not feeling so good today. But she wouldn't go on and on about it. So what kind of person do you want to be? Meditate on it if you need to. Do you want to be that nice person or the negative person? Look at those older people around you, and that may help you figure it out. Maybe you'll see someone like my mother, who was the sweet and wonderful person that you're surprised maybe that's how they ended up being when they were older. But maybe you'll see an Uncle Ben who always complains about his sciatica and his health. Or maybe you'll see Grandma Margie who always blames everyone for where her life ended up. Are those people you want to have as your role model? Do you want to be like that? Keep the role model that you want in mind, but also remember the ones you don't want, so that if you hear yourself going in that direction, maybe you shift a little bit of your mindset so you don't always end up there. You can also practice being neutral about aging, meaning that nothing can impact you positively or negatively. Just simply be. It almost feels like you're a third party watching what's going on, so that you don't have any judgment attached to aging or to becoming older. It's just something that happens to humans, but it doesn't mean it has to debilitate you. So becoming neutral is about almost anything, can really help you shift your perspective. The fourth thing you can do is work on your empathy for others that may need it, and I've just done an episode on that. Staying stuck in your own worry makes you ignore others and only see your own issues. If you can focus on other people and their issues, you may be able to help them as well as yourself. Whether their issues are just positive and you're focusing on someone else, or maybe you're working with someone who really does need your empathy and your caring. You can also find a reason to get up every morning. Whether you're 15 or 80, make sure you enjoy your life and aren't just living it by rote, stuck in that rut. What makes you happy to be alive and gives you purpose? If you don't have an answer, find one. You need to schedule yourself so you really can find joy in every day. And to be honest, when I say find an answer, I'm not kidding. And I'm not trying to put anybody down. I'm just saying only you know what can give you purpose. No one else can tell you that. There's no excuse for not looking for that, to see what makes you happy in your day-to-day life. What kind of dreams and goals do you have? Find one. Find one that matters to you, because that will be the reason for you getting up every morning, even if you only spend 5 minutes doing that thing. The sixth thing is, whatever stresses you out about aging or where you are in life, reduce it. Whether it's financial, social, or health-related, find ways to let go of whatever stresses you may have, even if they're only baby steps. And you may need to get help from an outside source, maybe. And don't take no for an answer if people say they can't help you. There's always someone else or another agency you can apply to. Somewhere else online you can find information out about. This is the major beyond the information age. Lots of information on YouTube and Google. You can find out almost anything. We don't always understand it, but sometimes there'll be another YouTube video explaining it better than the one we found in the first place. I know people who can actually fix their washer dryers, fix their refrigerators when things happen because of YouTube. I even found out how to take my thermostat apart because it was not obvious and I didn't have the booklet on it. And I found the exact thermostat. So you can do anything. The seventh thing you can do is to work on your attitude. It can make you live longer, age slower, stay healthier in mind and body, and enjoy your life longer. And this I think I got from Psychology Today. But if it wasn't from that one, it was from one of the other ones I looked up. I didn't write it down this time, which one it was. But if you can stay focused on the positive and stay in the moment and don't stress out about the future, your attitude is going to be so much better. And not only will you enjoy your life more, and it'll have more of a life, everyone else around you will enjoy you more. Now, when you're working on your attitude, you might want to try a gratitude journal, which people talk about, especially if you're just stuck in the negative and you can't really get out. So it'll help you refocus. And you can really delve into the little things if you don't have any big things to be grateful for. Because there's always something, whether you have clothes to wear or food to eat, and that's it. Whether you have some money coming in, but you don't think it's very much, it's still something to be grateful for. So really look at what those things are. You can also try affirmations that can adjust your attitude. And you can check out lots of YouTube channels, but on mine under my name, under Carol DeChaine, I've been doing the Joy Corner for a number of years, and it has a ton of I am affirmations that you can try. They're all about changing all sorts of different things about yourself that while you're intrinsically you have value, it doesn't mean you don't want to make some shifts and changes in your life. And those are the kind of things I'm talking about. Adjusting your limiting beliefs in your subconscious. It really helps with that. And lastly, and this one is addressed to myself specifically, stop overthinking about everything. Figure out healthy coping techniques so you don't have to get caught in the hamster wheel of overthinking like I do, especially when you're worried about something. I head right to the logic and the overthinking and the ABCs equals Ds, and it doesn't necessarily. So when I can stop overthinking and getting stuck and obsessing, that's when I can be aware of things and then shift. But you have to stop yourself first. Take that step back and go, oh, I'm overthinking again. Ah. So this one is addressed specifically to me, but I know there's a lot of you out there just like me. And lastly, let's look at 15 ways to embrace whatever age you are gracefully. One, no matter what age you are, spend time with younger people unless you're 12. And even then, but if you're an adult, spend time with younger people, especially your children or your grandchildren if you have them. Spending time with younger people, it'll help you forget that you're getting older. And it'll even give you energy and improve all sorts of your happiness levels if you're having fun. And if you're young, find fun people of any age to hang out with. If you feel drained in a situation or when you're around a person, spend less time with them or stop seeing them altogether. You may need to let go of the ones that don't work for you or that suck your energy. And maybe the ones that always talk about their illnesses and aches and pains, you might need to set boundaries. It can make you enjoy your life more if you can, and you have more faith and trust in yourself if you keep the boundaries with people, and you get more self-confidence. The third thing is not to hermit yourself. Don't go away and stay alone all the time. Find friends, find acquaintances that are positive and uplifting to be around, wherever you may find them, whether it's a church or it's something you love to do that you can find a bowling league or something, or a tennis team, or to play pickleball, or whatever it may be. Don't hermit yourself. Find people that are positive and fun. The fourth thing you can do, no matter what age, is to keep active physically. Find some sort of movement, whether it's a sport you like or a dance class that you love. It doesn't have to be super active if you're unable to. I used to be a dancer, but My knee is kind of a trick knee, and it decides occasionally to throw a lot of pain at me and collapse underneath me. So if I'm trying to dance, sometimes all of a sudden I can't do it. So I have to stop and adjust. And so I can't do anything like Zumba that's jumping all over the place anymore, unfortunately, because I love it. But there's other things that I can do as long as I can get off my duff and get moving. Something like that is what you need to do. Whatever it is, it'll not only help you physically, but it especially helps people emotionally as well. Because usually when you're active physically, you're around other people, and that helps with the social activity as well. Another one you can do is to keep active mentally. Games, puzzles, whodunits, anything that keeps your mind active. It could be a new hobby or some sort of activity. It can be learning a new language, which really gets your mind moving. It can be just about anything. Think about it. Even if you take a class at a college or you go to a meetup or whatever you may be doing, learning something new or finding a new hobby are excellent ways to get your mind to be active. And of course, the third part of that is to keep active spiritually. And meditate if it's your thing, but if it isn't, find something that helps you stay connected to your highest source, whatever that highest source is for you. Whether it's walking in nature, gardening, or walking your dog, playing with your puppy, whatever it may be, you know what brings you a spiritual type of peace. And if you don't, go looking for it because you need it if you've never had that. It's your choice. You don't have to sit there and meditate if it's not your thing, but if it is, find something to focus on. Maybe you focus on a candle, or you like having your eyes shut. I did a guided meditation today, and I have a lot of those out on YouTube as well under my name. You can find a lot of different kinds of ways to keep active spiritually. The next thing, the number 7, is to volunteer for organizations that mean something to you. Whether it's a civically minded type of organization, or it's helping specifically animals, or a certain age of people, whether it's people with disability, or with certain illnesses, or maybe it's senior citizens, or people that have issue with their memory, whatever it may be, if you can volunteer for those, it not only will make your life better and stimulate you, it will help other people or animals or the environment or whatever you're getting involved with. The next one is to adopt an overall healthy lifestyle. Now, you don't necessarily have to be a crazed fanatic about being healthy. That's not a bad thing, but it doesn't need to be the only thing that you're paying attention to. So at least if you eat fairly healthy, you get enough sleep, whatever that means for your body, staying active mentally and physically will make you think of age a whole lot less while you're enjoying being healthy. And let me say, if you spend less time on social media, whether you're 10 or 80 or 90, we can all get sucked in. And we can spend way too much time on unimportant stuff. Instead, spend more time with people instead of reading about them. Instead of listening to videos that are amusing when you have people you're sitting in the same room with, maybe eating dinner and ignoring them 100% while you're watching your videos and you're all on your phones. Stop it. Honestly, stop it. There's other times you can do it. But while you have the capability of connecting, look at how many hours a day, and you may not know, but my phone tells me, my iPhone, how many hours less or more I spent on a week compared to a different week. And I go, whoa, I spent how many hours a day? How can that even be possible? And one time it said 4 hours a day, and I looked at it and I went, what? But then I realized that I had my Google Maps going when I was driving to and from work because there was so many different ways to get there and the traffic was so bad. So about 2 hours a day was that. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I feel better now knowing that. But literally, if you're looking at your phone or other types of social media on your computer or something, spend less time doing that. The next thing is to keep your immune system up. We have so much stuff going on right now with COVID and monkeypox and all these other things that are coming up. The healthy lifestyle will definitely help. So you can take more vitamins and anything else that makes you feel healthy. If you don't smoke or drink to excess, Whatever makes you feel a lot lighter in your mind and your emotions and your body will get stronger and will fight off these diseases better. So there's a lot of things you can do, and sleeping is also a really important thing for the immune system. The 11th thing I want to talk about is following your dreams and goals. Whatever you truly want in life, would you be sorry if you didn't even try them when you got to the end of your life? Then you need to give them a go now. Make plans and see how you can get from here to there. Sometimes it's not quite the right timing, and you have to know the difference between I'm putting it off because I'm doing 5 other things right now. I did that when it came to working with Marconics, this energy that I work with. I was in the middle of doing life coaching classes. I had 3 different types of classes. It was going to take all year to get through. And I was taking classes at a psychic institute that was a year ongoing. And I was overwhelmed, and it was between money and time and everything else. In order to take more time off from work, I couldn't do it. So I looked at it and went, okay, I'm already doing these things, but I'm doing that. So I made plans to do it the following January when I knew they had a class across the country from me. So I didn't actually put it off. I put it off for a purpose and a reason, and I knew exactly when I was going to do it. So if you have dreams and goals you know you want to make part of your life, plan for them. Make decisions as to, and rather than just, well, I'll do it when this other stuff is maybe done. No, make more definite plans. Because I don't want you to get to that age where you go, it's too late now, and I should have done it sooner. I'm so sorry. Most people don't usually say, oh, I shouldn't have tried it. They usually say, I wish I had. So even if you try a dream or a goal and you do part of it and you go, this isn't for me. Wow, I'm so glad I tried it so I wasn't sorry later. And I want you to make time for self-care. Don't be afraid to put yourself first, at least from time to time. Take time for reading or running, relaxing, meditating, even if you feel like you don't have it. You don't have to take a long time, but take that bubble bath after everybody else goes to bed. Nurture yourself, and you'll make everyone else in your life enjoy being around you more. I can guarantee that. The next thing is to celebrate small achievements. Celebrate small wins. It can really raise your happiness meter, not just the ones that are achievements that you got a big promotion at work, but maybe you got a small raise or a tiny promotion. Also, be happy about those. If you dislike your boss and they leave, have a win maybe there's a big win celebration. Or if there's somebody at work you don't get along with very well and they leave, or they get a raise and they go away. Even if you thought it should be your raise, if they're gone, then that's a small win because you still don't have to work with them. So celebrate those small achievements. It will make your life more fun. And of course, be kind to yourself. I say that all the time at the end of my show. Even when you don't achieve what you want, you think you mess up, or you do something that you consider wrong, give yourself a break. Know that you'll do better next time and learn whatever you can from it. I mean, no one is perfect, so don't insist you have to be. And the last thing of the 15 is to look for things and people that matter to you and stay actively engaged with them, especially people you love. Don't be too busy for them. Don't push them aside because they may not be there when you want to be around them. Being around those people, it can really buoy your spirit and really make your life a better place. So we've covered a lot today. We've talked a lot about aging gracefully and how we can do it. We looked at the definition of aging, why different ages may make us feel differently, including other people's judgments about aging and how that impacts us, why we are so worried about aging, including our past and our family, and all sorts of other things that can be related to that, including our fear of death. We did a guided meditation that hopefully was able to release some of those fears about aging for you. And I went into 10 mindset hacks that can shift your negative aging mindset and 15 ways to embrace whatever age you are in a more graceful way. Whether you're turning 18, 30, 50, or 70, we all have different thoughts and feelings behind it. Or 65, like me. We might spend a lot of time worrying about it or give it just a passing thought. But whatever age we are, there are lots of ways that we can release stress, anxiety, and worry. But we have to want to do it instead of getting caught in the trap of overthinking and overworrying And yes, that is me. Overthinking and overworrying. You can let go of the cycle and the worry. Look at who you are now and who you want to be. If you're already in what they call our sunset years, you may still change your mindset if you find yourself in the negative and a downward cycle. But first you have to be aware of it and say, I've had enough of that. It's time to change. And then you have the power to be whomever you want to be. Someone everyone loves being around and wants to help as you get older, or someone everyone avoids. And if you can't tell why people don't want to be around you, you can ask them, but then don't jump all over them when they're honest. You are an intelligent and aware person, so you can make any changes you want and find a way to enjoy this life more. After all, we don't really know what comes next, so let's find more fun and more joy in this life right now. And happy birthday to me and to everyone else out there facing a birthday that may not be their favorite one. May you make it into a day to celebrate the fact that you were born and the special person that you are. Thank you for joining me here today. If you'd like to know more about intuitive spiritual or life or business coaching with me or Marconics multidimensional energy, please check out my website at www.connecttojoy.com and follow me on Instagram also at connect2joy, which is connect, 2, joy, just like this show. Until next week, be courageous and reach higher. Just take one step at a time on your journey. Get the help you need and get out there and find your joy. You deserve it.
Thank you for listening to Connect to Joy. If you love the show, make sure you rate, review, and share this podcast. And subscribe so you never miss an episode. Contact the host, Carol DeChaine, with questions and comments, ideas for future episodes, or if you would like to become a guest. And remember, transformation is a journey and not an end destination. So be kind to yourself, because you are already enough to have the joyful, limitless life that you desire.